The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group. I'm the president and founder of Akers Financial Group and hosting Winning in Retirement, our radio podcast. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Brian.
Jeff Akers is a vice president of Akers Financial Group, certified financial planner practitioner, and cousin.
All that stuff.
Of the president.
Not necessarily in that order, but yes.
Yeah, you're a cousin first. I agree.
Yeah, cousin came first.
You didn't call me Prez when you were that young.
No. First time I met Brian, I said, "Hey, Mr. President."
I'm glad you play the music, too. It's wonderful. The red carpet thing's awesome. All right, for those listening, we thank you for listening to our show. The reason we have a radio show is to explain and help people out there with their finances, understanding where they are in their finances. We call it financial fingerprint. And then building on that knowledge to build their goals, to reach their goals, to reach their dreams, to accomplish what they want with their money, no matter how much money they make. Some are very blessed with careers that have done extremely well. Keeping that wealth and growing that wealth is all part of planning. Also, as someone that maybe doesn't make as much money, but keeping enough so that they know they're provided for. One of the things that happens in planning is that we want to reach people and talk to them about what's going on. We set up a training day. Our show is called Winning in Retirement, and we're going to have a training day. It's coming up very, very soon. It's actually coming up next Friday, Friday the 13th. So if you're feeling lucky, October 13th, Friday the 13th, you come join us in Belcamp, Maryland, not that far from Baltimore or from Harford County or even from down Anne Arundel County. It's really easy to come across the bridge or the
It's
slide,
right off 95.
Slide under the water there.
Slide under the water in the tunnel.
The tunnel. Yeah. Winning in Retirement Training Day. If you go to our website, akersfinancialgroup.com, and you check the Winning in Retirement Training Day event button, you hit that button, you'll see speakers, you'll see the timetables of the 20-some classes we have. You also see that you can register right there online. It's free. It's next Friday, 12:30 to 6:30. There's music, there's portfolio managers, there's Jeff speaking.
Oh, boy.
His track is called Keep Winning in Retirement. And guess what? That's what our show's about today. Today's a teaser about how to keep winning in retirement. That day, we're going to explain in greater detail all the ways that we help our clients keep winning in their retirement years. Imagine that you're already retired. What does retirement feel like for you? Have you ever thought about that? How it feels for you and your family? Do you have goals for those retirement years? Will you be retiring from something or to something? This radio podcast this week is all about how to keep winning in your retirement years. Whether retirement is a future goal or a current reality, the fact that you must keep winning in retirement is the key to the financial stability that you need. In fact, to keep winning, you must plan to make it happen. And that's what the show's about. Jeff, I'm sorry I've talked so long so far. You've been ready to go, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. This is my segment of the training day, so I've got to be ready to go.
Absolutely correct. Now, what's nice about a Saturday morning show is it's early in the morning, and then you can celebrate in the afternoon,
right?
Which is fun. All right, so what we're going to do today is this. Keep Winning in Retirement is the name of the show. We want you to keep winning in retirement. You can always check our website out at akersfinancialgroup.com. But the key thing is this. You need to understand just the idea of winning in retirement, what makes that up. We believe there's four main thoughts. Being content. Having contentment is one of them. Knowing where your income is and will it last a lifetime. Controlling your taxes and insurance. And investing to weather the volatility that faces us. These are the four components we're going to talk about throughout our show today. And, Jeff, we're going to talk about the first tough one, which is contentment. And I want you to explain what this is.
You want me to explain all of contentment?
I don't believe contentment is an American word. I believe it's a word that's maybe...
It's not really associated with the American way of life, being content. We don't think of that, I think, a lot of times. But if you look in the dictionary, dictionary
and
says...
Jeff did, I think.
I did look in the dictionary. But if you look in the dictionary, you'll find a definition that says a state of happiness and satisfaction. And I get the sense that satisfaction, I'm going to use the word content, but it's being content where you are and what you have and what you know you can do.
And you would pass English with that kind of definition, Jeff, really?
I've looked in the dictionary at several different words, and it always astounds me when they use the word in the definition for that word.
Yeah. How do you picture contentment for Jeff Akers? Have you been contented? What's the act of being? I'm sorry, I can't even say it.
Have I been content?
Yes, contented.
Yeah. Well, there are times in my life when I'm content, and there's times in my life when I'm like, I want more. I want this. I want that. Something along those lines.
All right, so what does contentment feel or look like, or what is it like for Jeff?
I do like the word satisfaction that came from the dictionary. There's a certain satisfaction of, okay, my wife and I, we adopted 2 boys from Russia. Yep. I'm satisfied with that. That was something that makes me content. Yeah. So there are certain actions that I've taken throughout life that it's like, that was good. I'm happy about that. I'm content with that. I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a couple different stories to tell. The hard part is to tell other people's story or tell my story. I think there's these moments of life where you sort of have like not a bright light there, but you just exhale. You just breathe, and you're like, oh, all right, this is good.
Yeah.
And what's neat is about when you say this is good. Some of us, that means that we've been blessed by God. Some people might take all the credit for what's going on in their life. But there's these moments where you exhale, like you've reached a goal that you might have set, you've accomplished. And I view retirement should be that, where you are able to exhale and to relax and do the thing that you want to do, where you chose to retire, which is financial independent rather than not. Another way of looking at contentment could be that stress, not having that stress. So this is a concept that a friend of mine was telling me about, that imagine you're on your anniversary dinner and you don't look at the right side of the menu. You're just content that there's enough money to cover your anniversary dinner no matter what it is.
Right. It's a special occasion. I don't want to be worried about things. We might even get 2 desserts tonight.
I know Jeff's never done that before.
Well, just for me, but sometimes I'll share with my wife.
Okay. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh like that. Right. So the best dinner my wife and I ever had for her birthday was we had dessert first, really threw the waitress off. We like to order dessert. Are you going to order any food? Yeah, after dessert. I'm going to go see if we can do this.
I want to make sure I've got room for the dessert, so I'm having that first.
Well, I said, it's her birthday. We want dessert first. Oh, okay. I didn't think it would be a fight for the dessert. And it's like, it's a lot of money for dessert. All right, sorry. So we're talking about keep winning in retirement, how you can keep winning throughout your retirement years. Now, if you're getting ready to retire, that's a concern. But also, if you're already in retirement, how do you know that you have enough? Now, having enough is just one piece of contentment. Satisfaction is a feeling. It's more it's more than just numbers, right, Jeff?
It is more than numbers, but you have to do some work, some hard work to get to that feeling. I'm sorry to say the word hard, but there are things throughout life as you're preparing for retirement that you've got to work at. And then when you get to retirement, then you can have that feeling of, okay, I took care of this. I'm in good shape now. So I can do things because I want to, not because I have to anymore.
And we use that to come up with something called financial independence. Financial independence is while you're working, you've saved, you put money away, you've created a positive cash flow by paying off debt, and you can afford to live the life that you have. You're financially independent. Then you choose to retire based on a different set of circumstances, such as you're retiring to something, to do something different, to have a different place to live, a different experience. Maybe you want to do other things that would not involve your current job. And so financial independence becomes one of those first big steps of financial contentment for retirement.
Yeah, as you were talking about the debts, I was just thinking when you have your debts paid off, I can't tell you how many times someone's come to me and said, oh, I finally got the mortgage paid off and it feels so good. There's that sense of satisfaction. So when you don't have the debts where you've got money going out and your income is secure, you know what's coming in, you know it's going to last as long as you do, then you're kind of free. You're free to do the things that your income supports.
Absolutely. So the idea is this. So we're talking about keep winning in retirement, and our first topic and our first thought is contentment. Now, one of the things that I believe is that we need to learn to be content with what we have so that we're not overspending, wanting to have that keep having and having on things we might not need.
Yeah, when we're young, I heard someone talking about we need to put our money into assets that appreciate, not depreciate.
Yeah.
You know, we all need things like cars to get around in and everything, but you don't have to have the most expensive car. Sometimes you need to, buy something a little less expensive and then put some money into some stocks or save it for the future so that you can have that contentment when you reach retirement.
Yeah, so that means you might have to do a budget right now. You have to know where your money is. I'm not the biggest fan of having a stringent budget unless we need to. I'm not the biggest fan of monitoring every expense.
Right.
But if you need to, if you want trying to reach your goal, sometimes you need to examine where's the money going. Yeah. Money that's going out the door reflects your priority financially. If you don't know where the money is, that reflects your priority financially. We think you should know where your money's going. If it's going to positive saving, positive asset growth, that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. If it's paying debt or if it's being spent faster than you make it, you've really got to start the question, what is your true financial goal?
Right. That's not wonderful when you're spending it faster than you make it. So positive cash flow is very important.
Yeah, positive cash flow, in case you I don't understand exactly, that means money coming in is greater than the money going out.
Right.
And that means going into debt is counter to that.
Right. That's working against our goal.
Now, one of the things about Acres Financial Group we want people to understand is we want you to have this contentment, this idea where you're satisfied with what you have and where you are. And that is reflected a lot of times in the emotions that people have when it comes to their investments. One of our things we like to talk about is you're sitting in a restaurant and your friend comes to visit you and they're all frazzled and you're saying, what's wrong with you? And they say, well, man, I've been watching the stock market today. You got there early, sitting there drinking your coffee, waiting for them. And all of a sudden when they come in and they say this, then they say, why aren't you frazzled? And you just say, hey, it's all handled through Acres Financial Group. I've done my plan. I'm content because I'm taking the right amount of risk to reach my goals. That's the kind of retirement that we all need. So why don't we create a retirement plan for you? So go ahead and give us a call for a free hour of time to sit down and go over your exact situation and help you to accomplish these kind of goals so you can be content and be able to keep winning your retirement years. So give us a call, 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE, and we'll schedule a free in-person or Zoom meeting. So go ahead and call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE, or you can go to our website, acresfinancialgroup.com. Where is your retirement check going to come from? We'll discuss this in just a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Yes, welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, certified financial planner practitioner. I'm president and founder of Acres Financial Group, and today I have with me Jeff Akers. We've been working together for 20-some years?
23.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
I'm glad you can count that high.
I had to do the math in my head.
All right, so Jeff Akers and I are talking about it. Keep winning in retirement. That is just a big deal for us to help our clients once they reach the retirement years to keep winning throughout the retirement. What happens is this. Today we're talking about 4 main thoughts when you're thinking about winning in your retirement years and to maintain it. First thought was about contentment, knowing that living within your means and understanding what that means, because that's a key thing to living on fixed income, on retirement income. Also giving you the ability to save before that. The second quarter is all about this question, and that is just this question, Jeff, and you're going to have to answer it for me.
Uh-oh.
Where is your retirement check going to come from?
Wow. In retirement, well, let me go back to work. When you're working, your retirement check comes from work. It's simple.
Yeah, it's sweat, and it's like, if you do your hours, you get paid. A check comes on Friday or every other week. You know it's coming because you did the work, put the hours in.
Do your time, get the reward. In retirement, it's different because your income might come from a lot of different places. Yep. So it's not all just one check that shows up twice a month or weekly or however often. So you want to go into the specific ones?
Not yet. I want to talk sort of funny stuff. Do you
want to talk first?
You know what YOLO means?
YOLO?
Yeah, what does that mean?
That's you only live once.
So if someone is financial planning and they're doing the YOLO financial planning style, what would they do with their money?
It comes in, it goes out, and you spend more than you got because, hey, I'm going to die.
I only live once, right?
I only live once.
All right, so today's talk is going to add in something called yo-yo.
Yo-yo, and we're not talking about the toy that goes up and down?
Or the stock market, yo-yo and up and down.
Oh.
We're going to talk about you are on your own.
Oh, you're on your own.
So you are on your own financial planning.
Wow.
Not fun, but
Yeah.
that'll lead to the next part. You're to talk about all the options of income.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine, like, your family's history, the uncles that worked certain jobs had retirement money and they didn't have to save and invest because they had enough retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny because over the years, there was this attitude of, the company will take care of me because there were pensions. Well, there's just not a lot of pensions anymore.
Yeah. So yo-yo means
I'm on my own.
You're on your own when it comes to retirement years. What's thankful is this. You don't have to be on your own totally.
Right.
You can have someone help you, coach you. Financial advisors, financial planning helps you get there to make sure that retirement check's going to happen when you need it, to make sure the retirement check is planned for and set aside to be there each and every month throughout all of your retirement years. That's the true plan.
Right, and you're on your own, so that means you're setting that money aside, you're accumulating that wealth, and then you're going to use that as part of your retirement income when you're ready to retire.
So out there's some people who are blessed by having different pension checks through different careers. They do time with certain larger companies or government entities, and they create a pension. Mm-hmm. Some people might serve our military and then get another pension also and have 2 or 3.
Right.
So we've had some with up to 4 different pensions, and that's just a collection of income that turns on, and making those choices can be a little hard, but once they're set, the checks keep coming, and they're going to come to the future.
Right. There might be a lot of little checks, but they add up over time.
Any concern with those pension checks to the long-term future?
Well, one is most companies aren't offering them anymore, so young folks now, you're not going to have that as an option. Yeah. But the other is pensions are traditionally sort of underfunded a little bit. Yeah. There is a pension benefit guarantee corporation that backs them up, but sometimes the pension money is not as dependable as we wish it was.
One thing that's happened the last 20 years is they keep changing cost of living adjustments. They keep reducing their commitment to the future, and that means that your pension in most cases will not keep up with inflation over time. Yeah. You're going to need to have other money down the road to maintain lifestyle at a standard way.
Right, and that's if your pension even says it has a cost of living adjustment. It still doesn't keep up with real inflation.
Yeah, the inflation typically is government nowadays. The rest of them will say, we'll vote one in maybe, and you got to plan on not having a guaranteed payment.
Right, it's not necessarily going to happen, so you're going to have to prepare for the future.
So when you're planning on your own, the other sources of income are things like Social Security.
Yep. Yeah,
Social Security, we're going to have a special show in the future here about Social Security and all the many options, but generally Social Security is based on a lifetime of work.
Right. And Social Security is another thing where that cost of living adjustment, the federal government determines how that's calculated. So we might have heard about Social Security having a financial crunch when you look at your statement. One of the ways that they can work to control that and stretch it out is by reducing the amount of increase that folks get. So Social Security is another thing that's not likely to keep up with inflation.
Now, it had some big increases recently, the last few years, mainly because inflation was really high and actually higher than what they raised by.
Right.
I mean, the reality is grocery bills feels like they've doubled.
Right.
100%. That's what it feels like. I know my coffee didn't double. It shrunk from a pound of coffee is now 12 ounces of coffee, and the price is higher.
Yeah, shrinkflation. Yeah,
but you got a fancy word for everything, Jeff.
It wasn't that long ago, just in the 20-teens, when there was a year where there was no increase in Social Security.
Sure.
And it's not that inflation was actually zero. It's just the way they calculated it came to zero.
All right, so the comment is this. Where is your retirement check going to come from? So if people save and invest,
Right.
that might be the only place their retirement check could come from.
That's the part you can control.
Yep.
So you need to set money aside. You need to have that goal in mind. How much am I going to need in retirement? It's not the little number floating over your head like you see on TV. We need to actually figure out how much you need to set aside and what kind of retirement you want to have. But then we need to start setting money aside to get there.
Absolutely. Then you got to take money out in a prudent way. You got to use the tax law, use how your money was saved and how you can make that money last a lifetime. You got to make it build. You got to give some with guarantees. There's just a lot of options, lots of choices to create an income plan, but that's very important. Typically, when people retire, we want to match their take-home pay before retirement to right after retirement so they can at least maintain the same style of living.
Yeah, and sometimes retirement is going to be as long as your working career. It can last a long time. And so you've got to have money set aside that's going to keep up with inflation so that in those later years of retirement, you still have enough. You're still winning in retirement.
So imagine this. Years ago, retirees used to go to the mailbox to get the checks in the mail, and they would there was all kinds of different ways of having little checks from dividends, checks from bonds you'd take them to the bank. Yeah. Nowadays, most things are direct deposited. In fact, Social Security must be direct deposited, and people, for a few years there, were getting offended that the government was making them get direct deposited. But it is convenient that the income shows up, and it's automatic. It takes, I believe, when somebody retires, a couple years to get used to the flow of money, the flow of income and what's going on and what they're going to be doing and what things cost. When we're doing financial planning and getting people ready, how do you go about telling someone they're okay? Like, is there a process to how you get to that word where you say, we have everything in place, you're okay? Or is that just you don't ever say that to people? How do you do this, Jeff?
I have actually said that to some people, but it has to do with knowing their goals, what they want, also knowing their habits. There are people that have great habits. They're savers. And for them, it can be a struggle for me to say, spend this money. You're allowed to go. Other folks, they're not savers. It doesn't come naturally to them. So I'll have to say, all right, you need to hold back a little bit, and that way you'll be okay down the road. With a little tweak now.
So retirement checks. Now, we could do whole radio shows on basically certain ages, where's the right thing to take money from. And those are some of our income shows, which we have on our website, acresfinancialgroup.com. Under the radio tab, we have all of our history of our radio and podcasts right there. Also on the podcast, you can just type in winning in retirement. You can see what's there and historically to hear all of the options. But one of the things that I love to do with income is to see what is the easiest income to take. Basically, that's income you're paying tax on. It might be investments that you're reinvesting and paying tax on it. When you retire, we have it go to your bank account, and you don't pay any extra tax. We didn't change anything except turn the faucet on and have it come to you. That's just a little change that begins things.
You're paying tax on the income anyway, so you may as well use it. You asked me a question, and now I want to ask it in reverse. Have you ever gotten to tell someone you're okay?
I love saying that. I love saying it. So when we get to there, it can be in the first or second meeting, because once we evaluate, I had one that throughout this year, I've been proving to the husband that they're okay.
He didn't believe you?
I'm the one saying, you're okay, you're okay. If I have a cheerleader, I have pom-pom saying, you're okay, let's go. Now, the wife believed me so much, she went ahead and retired July 1st. But he's working, and now we're trying to plan his retirement. And I'm saying, whatever day you want. And then I showed him tax-wise, income-wise, zero rate of return-wise. Just any time I could flip the numbers around, trying to show that you've done well, you've saved, you're frugal. But some people are so contented with what they have and so frugal that they won't spend anything.
Right.
And so that's sort of not a right balance in my mind. Money is a tool. It's not everything out there. Money is a tool for us. Our life, our family, the way we serve, the way we do other things is what matters. So when it comes to answering that question, I love to make sure we're matching the money and that money can last a lifetime. Very key components to making it work. Now, Acres Financial Group, we're local. We're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you. We have offices in Lutherville and Forest Hill, clients all around this Mid-Atlantic region and all around the country, even a few around the world. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Just give us a call and schedule your meeting with one of our team of advisors. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. And we'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. How do you lower future retirement taxes? We will explain when we return in just a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to the Winning in Retirement radio podcast. Brian Akers, Jeff Akers here from Akers Financial Group. We're both certified financial planner practitioners. We do work here in Maryland, but we are licensed, and I'm licensed in 29 different states now. So, and as a registered investment advisor, we're a national RIA through Arcadius Wealth. Yep. All right, Akers Financial Group, we're considered a fee-based financial group. What that means is that we charge fees for planning or investment advice, and we might make commission on certain items that would be told to you way ahead of time, right? If that was going to happen and if that was the best thing for you to do.
Right. We do what's best for you.
Absolutely. Certified financial planner, what that means to me is that you start with planning, you use planning, and you end with planning. Implementation is how you invest a portfolio that applies to the plan that you put together. Today's topic is called Keep Winning in Retirement. Yes, we have people that come as new clients to us that are already retired, and they want to keep on winning in retirement, but then they have some concerns with what's going on with their money and what's going on with their advisor they have. One of the most recent ones I've had was someone came in and says that the person's a retirement expert, basically doing the investments, but doesn't look at the taxes.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's not retirement expert.
No.
So this quarter is how to lower your future retirement taxes because it matters. Because, yes, there are investment people out there saying they're retirement experts, but not even looking at your tax return to see how what they do affects it, how your withdrawals affect. You're shaking your head, Jeff.
I just want to clear one thing up because I've heard it more than once.
Yep.
There is no age at which the IRS says you don't have to pay taxes anymore. That doesn't exist.
You mean you hit 90, you're not tax-free?
You're still paying taxes. If your income is high enough, you're paying taxes. The only way to not pay taxes is to be broke. So
okay, so no money, no tax.
Right.
Also, I believe one way to not pay tax is to plan your whole life not to pay tax.
Oh.
And that's through proper pre-tax Roth IRAs, after-tax Roth IRAs, letting the money grow, pay tax now, never again. There's tax-free ideas that if you incorporate that young enough, when you get to retirement, you won't have a tax issue because you handled it with proper planning.
All of your investments are in things that can give you money tax-free.
Yeah, and that sounds like a nirvana concept.
Right.
And so it is hard to do both, but the idea is if we can bring our income lower, stay in certain brackets, understand where brackets are, and actually look at your tax returns and plan the income and the withdrawal, understand that, yes, at 73, 75, you're going to have to take withdrawals out of qualified plans. Mm-hmm. Roth IRAs are wonderful. Can you put money into them? How to do it? That's planning, and that's what we love to do.
Yeah, and last quarter we were talking about you're on your own. Well, I heard someone talking about the only person who's going to take care of the older me is the younger me.
Yep.
And so that's planning ahead. And
how much younger me or younger you?
Oh, years and years ago. When you're 20, I mean.
Is that too much pressure on the younger you?
No, it's really not, because you do a little bit when you're young, it builds to a lot when you're older.
Okay.
The later you start.
So say that again. I forgot the wording you used.
The only one that's going to take care of the older me is the younger me.
Okay.
That part?
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you sing that?
No, I can't sing at all. So
that's good. Now, I don't know a song that says that, but I think it probably should be a song.
Maybe it should be, but somebody with a good voice would have to sing it.
Yeah. So the idea is just as simple. Imagine that you're thinking about retiring, or if you're already in retiring, you can't go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to this show and you're hearing, keep winning in retirement, what am I going to get out of it? Well, this is that golden nugget. It says the younger you is you right now.
Right.
You'll never be younger than you are today.
Yeah, the only person that's going to take care of you in 10 years is you right now.
Yeah, throwing that money forward. Now, when you throw anything or do anything, having a coach, have a financial advisor helps you maximize what's going on.
Right.
Yes, I had a client come in who was 86 years old, and the wife was 82 recently.
Okay.
They're frustrated with IRMA and with taxes and their retirement advisor's advice of things that did not help what was going on with their planning, and they felt like they're wasting money everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just brutal to see, how do I say it nicely, the lack of understanding that it all works together.
Right.
You must understand your taxes, especially in retirement, especially if you've been very successful and built these multi-million dollar 401ks. You have to understand that that's good and bad. Understand what do you do now that you've done and built it so well.
Now, Brian threw out a big acronym called IRMA, just so you know.
Aunt Irma.
Aunt Irma? Yeah.
Hurricane Irma.
Hurricane is more like it. When you start taking you're on Social Security, you got Medicare, your Medicare premium can be higher than normal.
Could be
if your
double,
income is too
triple.
high. Oh, it's astronomical.
And
the
typically
amount
people
higher.
meet Irma through
Right.
a notice from Social Security saying that your Medicare is now $534 a month.
And they're shocked. And they're like, what the heck is this?
And the reality is 2 years before, your income was above certain limits, meaning that you have to pay tax.
Right.
In the year 2023, the income number is $204,000 for married filed jointly, and that's the number to keep your income below. $1 over it, you have to pay a little bit more to Medicare. As you get higher and higher,
more and more.
if you have special reasons that you made income higher just in 1 year, there are ways through the IRS and Social Security writing a reason why and getting that taken away.
Yeah, so what Brian said is important, that it's 2 years before. Your income 2 years before determines your Medicare premium. So at 65, it's based on your income when you were 63.
Yep.
So you got to start thinking about Medicare early in your 60s, really in your 50s.
Absolutely. So the idea is this: if you're in retirement and you're looking at what to do and how to do it better, you do need to look at where the money is invested, how it's invested, and how you're taking your withdrawals. If you're drawing required minimum distributions, have you looked at qualified charitable distributions to lower the taxation? Mm-hmm. What are you doing if you're tax planning and bringing that into your retirement withdrawals? Now, new clients, we have to deal with what you have right now. We can't go back and create something better. Mm-hmm. Younger clients, we can create something better by starting fresh and building it from now and getting tax-free where we can and trying to maximize that. So the idea is this: how do you lower your future retirement taxes? By planning now, planning today. That younger self needs to take care of the older self. Understand pay tax now, never again is a Roth concept, or even the use of some versions of life insurance for that if you have enough time and the right policy design.
Right. And another way to use taxes to your advantage has to do with dividends and capital gains, because they get some special tax treatment. So that's for money that's not in your retirement plans.
Yeah.
But you get some special tax treatment with stocks and mutual funds that are you get dividends, capital gains, and you pay a little lower tax. And if your income, depending on where your taxable income is, you might pay no tax at all on the capital gain or the dividend.
The only other things you can do tax-free are things like Maryland bonds. If you live in the state of Maryland, would be triple tax-free, federal, state, and local, not paying tax on the interest. That does not help the calculation for IRMA or other tax calculations because they understand that gap.
That's a modified adjusted gross income.
Yeah, I didn't want to go down that hole too far.
Yeah, that's how they modify it.
But the idea is that if you have a treasury bills and CDs pay about the same this week. It changes every day. So this week, about the same. What that means is if you're in a treasury bill and a taxable account, you only pay federal tax, not Maryland. That's a nice thing. Okay. If you're in a CD, you pay both. And so the idea is this: is know how each bucket of money, each dollar is being taxed, so that you can keep as much as possible. Imagine retiring with $5 million, but it's not all yours? What if 30% of that, $1.5 million, is for Uncle Sam and for Marilyn? That means you only have 3.5 that's your money.
Right.
So let's create more of your money through proper tax planning along with the retirement plan.
Yep. I've got a client he's in his 50s, planning for retirement, and he's charitably inclined. He has a lot of retirement money, so he's planning on using QCDs, qualified charitable distributions. But then there's still a big chunk of money that's taxable, and so we're doing conversions each year. This is his younger self preparing to take care of his older self down the road. He's in his 50s.
Taking the hit.
He's planning ahead. Right.
Taking the hit by paying the tax, right?
And right now the taxes are on sale, so it's a good time to do it.
What Jeff means by on sale is that there's a tax law called the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, which is lower tax brackets, that the sale runs through the end of 2025 under current law, which could change anytime.
Right.
But
they change the speaker, so they can change whatever.
Not a political show. We are trying to stay financial, but it does affect what we think about the markets and what's going on. Imagine this. You work hard, and then you feel like you're paying twice taxation. Now, the reality in most retirement plans, you did pre-tax it, so you never paid tax on this money.
Right.
But it feels like it when you're paying
coming.
tax for the rest of your life on this chunk that you saved. It's fun when it's all your money.
Right.
It's nice to say, oh, look at that Roth account. That's all yours. Really? That's mine?
If I take it out, I get all of it?
You sure could. Don't you dare do it because you won't have any more money. Oh, my. But there is times in life when people call and say, hey, I need $15,000. This happened at my house. And we say, well, we need to take out 20-some thousand because we got to pay tax to pull it out. And we look for a tax-free bucket or something where we can do tax harvesting combination. There are some tax planning on every withdrawal. There's tax planning decisions that are very valuable for you to think through. If you take too much money out one year, you could trigger your Medicare tax. That's something you got to watch. These are all things to pay attention to. Mm-hmm. So when's the best time of the year to do your Roth conversion, Jeff?
Well, I'm going to say when depends.
Right now.
There is no best time of the year. But
you're right. I was going to say, just say right now. Just say.
Just right now.
Well, conversion is knowing what the word means, how to do it with your situation, and it doesn't make sense, and do you have the cash to pay it? So the idea is this: how to lower your future retirement taxes, pay some now, balance it out, plan to pay less taxes through your planning. Remember that the best part of retirement is going to be getting your time back, where you decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up with other commitments, mainly your job. A lot of that goes away when you're retired. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. Go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the schedule a meeting section. Let us know you'd like to schedule a free consultation with one of our team of advisors. While you're there at acresfinancialgroup.com, check out our Winning in Retirement training day this coming Friday on October 13th. Check that out. Also, give us a call at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Are you risking it all without knowing it? In a minute, we'll explain in the final quarter of Winning in Retirement.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of Winning in Retirement. This show each and every Saturday morning, and we welcome you back to the fourth quarter with Brian Akers and Jeff Akers from Akers Financial Group. We're certified financial planners from Akers Financial Group. If you'd like to, you can go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Akers is A-K-E-R-S, financialgroup.com. On that website, what you're going to find is a tab for Training Day event. We are inviting everyone to our Training Day event next Friday, October 13th. If you're feeling lucky on Friday the 13th, come see us in Belcamp, Maryland for a free day of training. It's an afternoon of training with Winning and Retirement radio host. And what we do is we sit down and have classes that cover topics like we're doing today. Jeff is going to be in charge of running the classes on this topic of keep winning in retirement.
Yep.
And Jeff's ready for that show?
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not ready. I'm writing your script for you.
That helps. But
yeah.
It's the fourth quarter. It's like the coach writes the script, and then the players just have to carry it out.
Yeah, but next Friday's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to start at 12:30, first class at 1. We have classes every hour. classes on portfolio management with our portfolio managers in town to speak to our clients and prospective clients.
That'll be cool.
We have lawyers, attorneys. We have financial advisors from Acres Financial Group. We have people on Social Security, Medicare, local government officials speaking on Medicare and how that works. Jeff's going to be in charge of guiding that.
Even somebody talking about real estate.
Yeah, and a few other classes that we'd like you to sit through and enjoy. I'm sorry.
You make it sound so bad, sit through.
No,
It'll be fun.
I have some ideas and things about generosity, a class on that, a class on advanced estate planning, opportunities to learn to how to grow and maximize your wealth over time. Also, to how to win in your retirement years. And that's what the training day is all about, is helping you win in those retirement years.
Oh, yeah.
The show today is called Keep Winning in Retirement. And this show will be on our website under the radio tab for you to listen to anytime you like. As we're finishing up the fourth quarter, we've gotten to our fourth point. Our first few points, if you guys can remember, first one was contentment, making sure you live within your means and know that you're okay, so that you're going to be satisfied and happy with where you are in your retirement years. Yep. We have to have income to last a lifetime, was our second point. And our third point was controlling taxes and insurance. That's got to be part of your retirement plan. All right, Jeff, so the fourth quarter question is this. Are you risking it all without knowing it? What do we mean by that, Jeff?
Well, sometimes people have their 401k set up and there's an automatic fund that gets used where they just say, well, I'm going to retire in this year. And so they pick what's called a target date fund. And they think, as I get closer and closer to that target date, I'm going to take less and less risk. And when I get there, I'm not going to be taking risk. I'm not going to be risking my money anymore.
How are they going to take less risk every year?
Well, what the target date fund does is it'll invest in stocks, but then as you get closer to that target date, it shifts from stocks into bonds and to cash over time.
Right.
So it's automatic. You don't have to think about it. So people kind of like that automatic thing. But the misunderstanding comes with the bonds and believing that the bonds are not taking risk. But bonds are risk investments.
Bond funds.
Right, bond funds. They can go down in value. There's not an insurance company backing them.
Or if interest rates go up, bond values go down.
Right.
If you own an individual bond, you know the date that they'll pay you your money back.
Right. It has a maturity date.
That's a maturity date. In a bond fund, they have a combination of everything within a portfolio. And as interest rates rise, as they've done, you've seen the bonds lose.
Right.
What people also experience is when stocks go down, bonds typically go down with them.
Right. They have been recently. We saw that back in 2008, 2009. Everything was correlated. Everything did the same thing.
Yeah, the word recently is funny. That's like the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Because what happened is 40 years ago, interest rates were extremely high, and they started coming down. And so bond funds over the last 40 years returned interest and value above because the total return made a profit. Mm-hmm. And so that helped people make more than the interest rate. We are telling you that in bond funds that are designed with older bonds in them, on the way back up on these interest rates, you're going to experience losses and you won't make quite as much as the yield. So you really won't achieve what you want. And what's interesting right now is that money that has no risk is making around 5.5% in CDs. And also Treasury bills for 1 year making like 5.5%. That's without any possibility of loss. So why are we risking or making a risk when it comes to our portfolio design? So the question was, are you risking it all without knowing it? One of the ideas is this: I'm making it safer at work, and then the idea is doesn't have the word safe used when it comes to a target date. It's lower risk but not safe. So many times that leads people to the talk when you're 59 and a half about in-service withdrawals and the potential and the ability to pull your money from your company plan to a private IRA where you can buy things that have guarantees to it, where you can diversify your portfolio to match the risk level that you want.
Right, so you can actually have something that is backed by insurance that's guaranteed not to go down.
FDI insurance through its CDs through banks. Mm-hmm. Insurance companies have guarantee corporations backed by that insurance company, not actual insurance, not like the FDIC at all, but it has a level of guarantee from actual companies. But they have some contracts. So the idea is this: make your protect it. We think it's a great way to do things. The reason we talk about this is people don't know the risk level they have.
Right.
They're sort of surprised when they get hit hard in a down year, especially if that's your retirement year. It's hard to take to get hit, and you also want to retire.
Right.
We're also not a big fan of having all your money at risk as you withdraw. We like to be ahead of the game, meaning having some money sitting in cash ready to pay you. That's not being withdrawn out of the stocks every month.
Right. So the first thing that we do when we sit down with you is go through what you have, because a lot of times folks don't know what it is that they're actually invested in. And so we like to go through that, make sure that we're clear on what you are invested in, and then take your risk tolerance and figure out something that might actually be closer to your real risk tolerance.
And Jeff, what is the name of the only zero risk fund in a 401k typically?
Typically, it's a money market.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, I've actually seen money markets inside 401ks that go up and down in value a little bit. It's not as much as the other funds, but
Just a little.
yeah. just a little bit.
You're trying to scare people. You shouldn't try to scare people like that.
Well, I don't want to scare you, but I want you to be informed.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's called the word money market's not FDIC, so it does fluctuate based on short-term commercial paper investments.
Right.
That's
and
a
it's
quick
just
version.
certain 401ks that have certain, they call them money markets. I don't think they're really money markets, but that's what they call them.
Oh, they're investment portfolios. Now, many ancient years ago, there used to be guaranteed insurance contracts inside of 401ks where you could buy and fix interest rates. I think as rates rise, those might come back into the industry.
Right.
Hasn't seen it yet, but it might. Now, I think it should, because there's not a good option inside of TSPs, 401ks, 403bs when it comes to absolutely no risk funds.
Right. They're not prevalent yet.
So the idea is this: we want to avoid big losses because big losses are hard to make up. If we are ready to retire and we suffer a 50% loss, we have to make 100% just to get back up to where we were, and that needs time. If you're getting ready to retire, the thing we don't have is time.
Right. When we're younger, we're saving for retirement, and the market goes down, time's on our side, we can wait it out, we're doing fine. But when you get to retirement, you're going to start using that money to live on. Well, you don't have time for the market to go down and then come back up over 7, 10, 15 years like the NASDAQ did earlier this decade.
Example of 2007, 8, and 9, there's some negative years there. The market was down by 2009, March. It took from 2009 to 2013 just to get back to where it was on the S&P.
Right.
Many people buy an index, and they're in the index. It's like you're on the water on the ocean, and a wave comes. The wave pulls you up, and then the wave pulls you down.
Yep.
And then the wave will come back up and level out over time when the volatility is over, but it takes time to recover. And that's what we're experiencing even now.
Yeah.
And we experienced 09 to 13 to get back. And it feels like a bull market when it recovers, but not if you had your money in longer term because you're just getting back out of the hole, right?
Right. You're still not back to that point. And in that trough where things are down, you still need to eat.
So the idea is this: you're getting ready to retire, and you want to keep winning in retirement. Don't risk all of your money. Balance it out. Take the least amount of risk to meet your goals. Have money that's protected. Have money and income that's guaranteed, protected, that's going to be able to rise with inflation over time, money that's going to provide for you when you need it most. We got to make sure our plan to keep winning in retirement has been well thought out with the concepts of longevity, of risk, of protecting our downside, of things that are going to pay us to give us the money we need, and having it all work together.
Yeah, we were joking a little earlier about Brian writing our notes and stuff, and one thing he wrote down that I really like is keep winning in retirement by keeping your money. Don't lose your money. You need it now.
Yeah, so we've learned today about yo-yo. What was that one, Jeff?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry.
You're on your own.
You're on your own when it comes to pension plans. We need to save and invest for our future. And then you taught me the thing about the younger you.
Oh, yeah.
What's that one again?
Yeah, the only one that's going to take care of the older you is the younger you.
Yeah. And he took that from a couple other people.
I stole it.
but it's information. It's wonderful information. The idea there is save money now. If you're listening to this, you're not in retirement. It's like, oh, this doesn't apply to me. Yeah, it does. This is teaching you what you want your portfolio to be when it's your time to retire. You are on your own. You need to set that money aside, put it forward. There will not be major companies, major government plans designed to provide you what you want and what you need it to do. Keep winning in your retirement years by having a financial coach guide you in this, help you understand where you are and what you need to do, and how to lower the risk you're taking to enter the retirement years to stay in a good way throughout all of the years, the good years and the bad.
Right. So the first thing we're going to do is sit down with you, get your financial fingerprint, figure out where to go from there, and then put you on a path to financial independence so that you can be content in retirement.
We're a little excited about this idea, and that's why we're having our training day next Friday, October 13th, in Bell Camp at the Water's Edge Event Center. That is a free event for you. Check out our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. It's right there. You can sign up right online, or you can call the offices for more information. We do look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for a great show, Jeff.
Well, thank you, Brian. It's good to be here.
All right, and we want you to keep winning in your retirement by taking advantage of this opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the Schedule a Meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting. That's acresfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your your free in-person or Zoom meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now for your retirement. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Archedios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Archedios Wealth. Akers Financial Group and Archedios do not share any common ownership. Neither Archedios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.